Well, when I hear Fabrizio Romano, or David Austin, or Sammy McBell come out and really say something about Erik Ten Hag's future at Man United, I pay a very keen ear to listen to what they're really communicating to we, the people who have fun channels, to see to it that we run these stories to you, the viewers of the United Matters channel. And this time around, it's all about Fabrizio Romano dropping a huge hint onto this guy. You get? And this is the story that that is obviously headlining this show, and it's all about this man known as Erik Ten Hag and how his future really stands at the club of Manchester United. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And I tell you what, it's really a Saturday in my country. It's now a Sunday, you know, like half an hour into the first day in here for you. So we are here to obviously bring you what we've gonna hit obviously gather from obviously the so-called side of Man United, and what we've gonna hit obviously try to bring in here for you. Zlatan Ibrahimovic in the mix. We are gonna be talking about Zerbi, because the story that was gonna hit to be broken by Fabrizio Romano also goes ahead to really see to it that it really digs deep into what we call this side of Manchester United, and on whether Zerbi is going to become the next manager for the club of Man United, because some people are really trying to relate and add dots to see to it that all goes their way. But we thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. This is Rock and David on the United Matters video. Second video of the day, and hope in the next 2 hours another video is going to be loading in here for you. For the Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And this is Rokan David into the mix. Now, we have a story coming in through from Fabrizio Romano. He has told us that internal talks will take place after the FA Cup final to decide Erik Ten Hag's future. Ineos wants the manager to be decided as soon as possible, as the manager will be essentially crucial to plan for the future. It could be Erik Ten Hag or another manager. Internal talks will take place after the FA Cup final to decide Erik Ten Hag's future. Now, right now, what I'm getting from the flies on the wall at Man United is that Ineos want Erik Ten Hag to stay, but Erik Ten Hag wants to stay at Man United on the right terms. You get? On the right terms. Remember, he's going into his last year of his contract. There is a further option of 1 year to get triggered, and Erik Ten Hag will be like, if I'm to stay here, can you get me more years? You get? Because if you want to keep him here, you have to give him what you call a huge deal. Why? Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Juventus, Napoli, all those teams are really looking at Erik Ten Hag, and the pressure is now onto Manchester United. And as we speak, Manchester United is no longer in the position of strength, because how can you be having a manager and you want to sack him, and very many other teams that are really top teams are interested in him? If you are Sir Jim Ratcliffe, that means you are making something wrong, and that decision is not really wise. So, at this juncture, what you are getting in from Man United is simple. They want to really sit down with Erik Ten Hag and make a decision. And I tell you what, the decision is not going to be made according to the result. That's going to be coming in from a decision that is going to be coming in through from the result of the FA Cup. The decision is already there, but if Ten Hag is to stay at Manchester United, there are certain things he wants to go his way. For example, talk about what it means. They will talk about what terms and conditions Ten Hag wants to work in, because there are some people who come into the club, like a sporting director and the technical director, the CEO, when they want to be having total control of everything and the manager being a puppet, and Ten Hag is not that kind of manager who is going to allow to be a puppet, and he'll be like, if those are the conditions, I'm going to leave the club of Man United, compass set, I leave. You get? And right now, Manchester United is not into that position of spending that huge amount of money, you know, because to get in a new manager, you have to pay good money from the team where he is. Secondly, even Erik Ten Hag has to be compensated. And the manager you bring in will call in for a huge budget to operate, because this is Man United. You understand? So, let no one lie to you that the decision is sacking Erik Ten Hag. If Erik Ten Hag leaves Man United, it's going to be his decision. Ineos have been making contacts of players because they know to it that they're going to be having Erik Ten Hag, but Erik Ten Hag wants to obviously operate and really have a hand into the transfers that that the board is really going to be making, because he believes he has players that he believes are going to hit work. And I tell you what, Erik Ten Hag has all what it takes to really tell Ineos to sit down with him and really discuss on which players they're going to bring in. Why? When you look at all the signings Ten Hag is going to hit to make on a permanent deal, most of them have gone ahead to work out, I think, apart from Anthony. You get? But when you look at Andre Onana, he has gone ahead to settle in very well. Malacia really had a very good debut season, though this season has been really ruined with his knee injury. Then, Lisandro Martinez obviously is the best signing of him. Amrabat, you've gone ahead to settle into that. In these remaining games, Amrabat has gone ahead to sink in the club of Man United and is one of those players that we already say he should even start ahead of Casemiro. Casemiro also had a very good season, but this season, the debut season was really great, but this season has been really bad, and you don't blame it for him because the entire team has not gone ahead to look well. Rasmus Højlund, obviously exquisite. Talk of Eriksson, first season was really great, and I tell you what, this season he has run out of the gas. Then the other player is Mason Mount. I saw him doing well, but the problem has always been he's an injury-prone player. I don't know what is going to turn him into an injury-prone player. So he has an eye for good players, and I think the beauty of this is they should just sit down and really come up to a compromise on what it should be like at Man United in between Erik Ten Hag and Ineos. Who is going to be responsible for making these decisions and who is really going to be there. But Fabrizio is telling us that no sooner the FA Cup final is done, that's when we'll get to know who is the next manager of Man United. Is Erik Ten Hag staying or not? But my flies on the wall at the side of Manchester United have told me that Erik Ten Hag needs a new contract. You know, like, if you want to keep me here, I want a contract of like 2 years. Add me 1 more year on the contract and a further option a year. Those are 3 years, because this is a new tenure, if you believe in me. And I think he's going to hit to take all the boxes. You know, he has going to hit to bring on Kambuala, Kobe Mainoo, Garnacho, Amad Diallo. You understand? All those young stars into this team, and they're really doing wonders. And if I told you about Manchester United with the under-18s walking away with close to 4 trophies this season, you would love to see to it that you keep a manager like Erik Ten Hag, who has going to hit obviously create a very good pathway of a player from the academy into the first team. You understand? So that's what I think. Now today, a story of Zerbi is going to hit to be really broken today. That Zerbi has going to head to obviously end his career at Brighton, and today is going to be his last game as they play Manchester United. And we're going to hate to hear the following that Roberto Zerbi leaves Brighton at the end of the season. Decision made, his final game will be tomorrow versus Man United. Then Zerbi will be available for a new chapter that is not yet known. Zerbi has come out and really said the following to the fans of Brighton that I'm very sad to be leaving Brighton, but I'm very proud of what my players and staff have achieved with the support of everyone at the club and our amazing fans in the past 2 historical seasons. We have agreed to end my time at Brighton so that the club and I can continue to work in the way that suits each of us best, following our own ideas and visions, as well as our work and human values. I have really enjoyed an intense and challenging 2 years working in the Premier League, not least competing in 4 major competitions this season. Living now provides me with time to take a break before deciding on my future plans. Now, obviously, if De Zerbi is parting ways with the side of Brighton, that means there is a team that is going to obviously show interest in him. Bayern Munich have said no, but you cannot really trust Bayern Munich because this manager is still on the job. And how can De Zerbi leave when he has a release clause of 10 million euros or 10 million pounds, and no club is going to show interest? That means there is a club that is going to obviously tell Brighton, we are going to take De Zerbi, and talks have been taking on under the carpet, and now it's up to him to know where he's really going to be playing next. But I tell you, I don't think it's Man United. If it was Manchester United, news would have already gone ahead to break out right now that Man United is really doing the needful. And I tell you what, as Fabrice has always told us, no, he has out loud, no, United is not talking to any manager, but they are really discussing them internally. They've not gone ahead to obviously hold talks. Like they've gone ahead to link us to Tuchel, that talks are on, which is wrong, and that is something being figured out, all cooked by the people that work with Thomas Tuchel to either obviously lure him to the job of Man United. But with the people, experts at United, things don't work like that. But for Roberto De Zerbi, I like him as a manager, but I think there is a step he has to take before he goes on to play at Manchester United. If I'm De Zerbi, I would have gone to look out for a club that is going to be playing the Champions League. I manage there, I face big teams like Real Madrid in there for you, and I get that European exposure. Then later, I really look at the job of Manchester United. I liked it most when Alonso came out and turned down an offer to go for Liverpool, and Barcelona, because he knew that he needed to obviously carry out his experiment more at the side of the what is it called? At the side of Bundesliga with Bayern Leverkusen, and he needs 1 more year, and he's gonna be there. And if I told him Alonso, I should be at Bayern Leverkusen for the next 3 seasons, Announce yourself on the European continent, get in better players that can compete, and build what we call a juggernaut at that side, So for me, that's what I've gone here to do, and I liked Alonso when he made that decision. So for me, I think De Zerbi shouldn't be the manager we should be thinking of bringing in at Man United. The financial problems are really having are really huge. How can we go out to pay 10 million pounds to the manager, get Erik Ten Hag 10? That is 20 million pounds, And after that, you have to give De Zerbi a very huge budget, obviously getting players. You understand? And De Zerbi is not tested anywhere. So, for us, as it stands, we are here to obviously get to know what is next. But De Zerbi is going to Bayern Munich? ? Elba has said no. Is he going to Juventus? I don't think Juventus is going in for Thiago Motta. Is he going to Napoli? We might see him go back to Italy, because I think if at all he gets that Napoli job, it will be great because Napoli has good players, and I think he can really scout more players in Italy to do the needful. That game of Bayern Munich, I wouldn't like to see De Zerbi managing Bayern Munich right now, because the club is in a mess. To obviously be there and do the needful. So wait and see how that pans out. But De Zerbi is not going to be the manager of Brighton next season. Does that make our game harder because it's going to be players saying bye-bye to De Zerbi? I don't think so, because Brighton is Brighton. They'll play the same, and Ten Hag will have to obviously come out and cancel them. As I told you, I see that game ending 3-2 in favor of Manchester United. Lastly, Ferdinand is going to have to put out this, and I find it very, very, very disturbing. As said, when you look at the recruitment, I think there are only 3 players, Bruno Fernandes, CR7, Ronaldo, and Zlatan, that I can remember coming in and then going. Okay, they played at a level that you would have expected. Everyone else just fell well short. For whatever reason, they just haven't hit a standard you expect them to come in for. There is no value in them in what you expect, so they have to go to the bottom of that. Now, I think these are the worst decisions, apart from the Bruno Fernandes decision. But talking of consistency, Ronaldo, his debut season on his return was great. Second season, bad. Zlatan, the same. First season scored very many goals, and then he found himself in a position of really looking bad. That's why he was moved on the next season, So, Edson Cavani also came in through. His debut season was great. Second season was really bad love. So, I don't think that the recruitment of United is really up there. I think Bruno was a good recruitment. That is it. Because over time, Bruno is going to have to prove to us that he's really a very good player. And he lives on and really gives us the best that we deserve in him. But for me, I think we should recruit better. The likes of Lisandro Martinez, Rasmus Højlund, look at players like Kobe Mainoo from the academy. That's what we should do. Our recruitment should be really having an agenda and a plan that it's really best, or not to just come out and really dream like we need Zlatan, we need Ronaldo, we need Paul Pogba, brands being brought in to obviously elevate the value of the club in as far as the financial status is concerned. But when it comes to what we call the football success, is zero. So I hate that. So guys, I call upon for your reactions into the comment section a bit about Erik ten Hag's future, decision, time frame revealed, you understand. And this is Fabrizio Romano breaking this story. You know what it means when Fabrizio breaks the story. What do you make about Zerbi being managing his last game at Brighton this Sunday? Is it going to make the game of Man United and Brighton harder or more easier? Then, what do you make about Rio Ferdinand's words? Rokan David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I'm out.